It's funny when you find yourself researching with the sport of boxing. News gets left on the table, and you often find that there are things that should be reported on and talked about that don't get that type of attention. But we do know that coming up in December, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk will face one another for a rematch of their fight that they had earlier this summer. And that's a wonderful thing. But what hasn't been talked about is a fight that's going to take place on the undercard of that event. And we're talking about Israel Madrimov and Sergey Bohachuk. Yeah, that's a fight that I want to see. That's a fight that people should get hot about. That's a fight that people should be talking about, because it very well may steal the show. So let's talk about this matchup. Madrimov versus Bohachuk. Yeah! Now this is what I'm talking about. Boxing that is going to be very pleasing to the eyes, to the spirit. This is a good matchup, you guys. These two men have signed on to face one another on the undercard of Usyk versus Fury 2. Reignited. Yeah, that's what we're talking about when you're talking about quality matchups. And December 21st, this is a quality matchup, people. And guess what? Once again, whom do we have to thank for this, huh? Turkey Al-Sheikh, His Excellency. Another Riyadh season event that is going to give us what we want in the sport of boxing. Quality matchups, 50-50. To see two men get in there and go after it and do what they're capable of accomplishing. And we're talking being the best at what they do in the sport. I have looked at this when I saw that these two men were going to be facing off, I'm like, oh boy, where's the popcorn, huh? Yeah, because this is what it's all about. You got all these guys out here who claim to be the best, downplay others, downtrod them, denigrate them, but won't get in the ring with them. These are two men who are coming off of losses that they don't have to get in there and face one another. And Turkey is the one that is making it happen. So, what should we say about the two? I know that when you look at them, their ratings are number 4 and number 6 at super welter. Israel, coming off of a fight in August of this year against Terrence Bud Crawford, where he lost a unanimous decision and lost his title to Crawford in that fight, but had given Crawford one of his most competitive fights in recent memory. And though only 12 fights in professional, but he has a huge amateur standout career, the Uzbekistan fighter is not someone that people are running to get after. And then his opponent, Sergey Bohachuk, coming off of his August defeat, a majority decision loss to Virgil Ortiz Jr. in a fight that many had him winning that fight, but he has shown himself to be of the class. They are both 29 years of age, so they have entered a prime where bouts like this are supposed to take place. This is every bit as good to me as Benavidez versus Morrell. Yeah, this is what we look for in the sport of boxing. And I have to commend these men because they didn't have to take this fight. They did not have to see one another, especially coming off of a loss. So as a co-main, and not even for a title, this speaks volumes. Even to the degree that it's the type of matchup that can find both men wanting to do it again. And you see, this is what we ask of the fighters all the time. We talk about quality matches. Titles secondary when you're talking about the best in the sport fighting one another. The titles have been jaded so much that it only appears to be a good thing for the sanctioning bodies. But when you talk about two men like these two getting it on, this is what you want to see. Now, Madrimov, with his style of being an aggressive guy, going after people, looking to break them down, throwing power shots and banging to the body, he's a typical seek and destroy type fighter. He reminds you of Triple G with his physical appearance. He sort of looks like Triple G, but he's a better boxer than Triple G was. Not as great a puncher as Triple G, and he's a more diverse fighter. He can do a few more things as far as his footwork and moving around that Triple G didn't have as part of his repertoire in competing in the ring. Bohachuk is a fighter that brings a different element himself. Though he can be that seek and destroy type fighter, he is noted to be one that can get after it, but he can also take a shot. He's not one that's going to cave in from pressure. Hailing from the Ukraine, he's another one of the Ukrainian fighters that brings a great deal. And when you look at some of the guys that he's faced already, it speaks far volumes more than what the 12 fight in Madrimov has done. I mean, we can talk about guys like Brandon Adams, where he lost in 8 rounds. In a 10-round scheduled fight, he was stopped by Brandon Adams. He put Bohachuk down. And this is the new reinvigorated Brandon Adams. But that fight was back in March of 2021. But when we look at what he's done since then, he has put together a string of victories over the likes of Nate Gallimore, Patrick Alute, Brian Mendoza, and again, that recent fight with Virgil Ortiz Jr. Many people had him winning. He had Ortiz down twice in the fight, rounds 1 and 8. Virgil, he touched the canvas. Where in title fights, that was an interim WBC super welterweight fight where Bohachuk came in with that interim title. And we know he has, in an opponent of Virgil Ortiz, the mighty push of Golden Boy. So, there could have been a little favoritism there. But to come back against the likes of Madrimov means that he's displaying true grit. Again, more of what we ask of the fighters, to be out there and just be competitive. Do your best and give us something to cheer for. Give us someone to cheer for. And that's what we have here. So I'm excited. I'll do a breakdown on this, but I just wanted to get this news out there because many people aren't even aware that these two men are going to face one another. And again, as I said, on a card like Fury and Usyk 2, or should I properly say Usyk and Fury 2, as the co-main, yes please. And once again, we can thank His Excellency for putting a card together like this, because guess what? This could end up being the fight of the night. Huh? So as we get closer to the 21st of December, Merry Christmas early, huh? For fights like this. And I tell you, I can't wait. It's gonna be exciting. But what do you think? This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about this fight. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.